Springfield Municipal Board of Zoning Appeals for Tuesday, March the 12th, 2024. It is now in session. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have a roll call, please.
Poole,
Here.
Simmons,
Here.
Woodard, Sherrod,
Here.
Weizsäcker.
Here.
We have 4, so we have a quorum.
Very good. Item 1.3, approval of minutes from the regular meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals held September 12th. Do we have a motion to approve?
My motion to approve.
A motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Hearing none, those are approved. Under 2.0 new business, item 2.1, discuss and possibly take action on public comments, policy, and procedures. Do we have anyone here today that wants to speak to any public policy or procedures? I don't believe we do. We will have to close
That
that
will be-
item, and we will move on to item 2.2.
Excuse me, sir. We're trying to work on this one. Give me one moment. I'm going to talk to you about this public comment and procedure. We have not adopted it yet, so this is where our discussion is that we're going to talk about it. This is where all the city boards are now adopting the public comment policy and procedure time. It was passed by the Tennessee General Assembly effective July 2023 that enacted all the government entities for a period of time for public comments for public meetings, for all the public meetings. Now, without having to read all of this in here, I've highlighted a couple of things just so you can get an idea of what they're looking to do. This will be, thank you. This will be the public comments that will include on the agenda of the board meeting in which they are enacted. So in other words, it has to be germane to the items that are on the agenda. Regarding every item must be online. They must register online. It'll be on the website at springfieldtn.gov under the comments. It has to be in there no later than noon on the day prior to the meeting. There are 10 spots that are available, and it's a first come, first serve. They're limited to 2 minutes, and the time is not to exceed more than 20 minutes. Now, the zoning board reserves the right to take all steps to ensure the opposing viewpoints are represented fairly. So at this point, we're asking the Board of Zoning Appeal to adopt this public comment procedure. You'll have to vote on it.
So we are good? No one here for public comment?
You're going to make a motion to discuss?
Okay.
You have approved the policy.
All
This
righty.
is the
So
time
we
that
need a
you're
motion.
And then there's something else.
Motion to discuss.
I make a motion.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I second.
We have a second. I'm fine with it, yeah. Any questions, comments?
I don't have any. I'm good with it.
Motion to approve then.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Second. Call the roll, please.
Poole,
Yes.
Simmons,
Yes.
Woodard,
Yes.
Sherrod,
Yes.
Weizsäcker.
Yes.
So now we can move on to item 2.2. Discuss and possibly take action to allow a temporary portable office during new construction, and this is 4894 Highway 41 North. Read this into the minutes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Michael Carver with Carver Construction is requesting a temporary portable office to be set up on site to conduct business while their building is under construction. The property address is 4894 Highway 41 North, parcel number 069, parcel 90.11. It's the Key Ridge Business Center, zoned commercial services. The zoning ordinance 11-801 regulations allow for a temporary building to be constructed, a temporary building while new construction or renovation is being undertaken. This is a 6-month period, and it's approved by the Board of Zoning the Board appeals. The structure shall be moved immediately at the completion of the construction or expiration of the permit, whichever occurs first. Staff has reviewed this, and staff has talked to the owner, and the sewer will be collected and disposed of through proper methods by the owner. Temporary electric pole will be used, and staff and departments have no concerns at this time. I do have Michael Carver here to answer any of your questions in regards to the temporary use.
Very good. Thank you. Mr. Carver, let's get a motion to get this on the floor,
I'll make a
please.
motion.
Have a motion?
Second.
Have a second? There you go. How you doing, Mr. Carver?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm good, I'm good. What is this is going to be for your construction company? Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir. We're planning on building an office for our business in Carver Cares.
Okay. Very good, very good. Any questions from anyone?
Didn't you say you think it's gonna end up being a shop for your wife?
Most likely.
There you go.
If TDOT will cooperate and we can get our driveway entrance permit in a timely manner, it's taking 11 months to get a driveway permit. We'd like to start construction as soon as possible, but we're waiting on the state as usual.
What do you think the time frame is for construction once you get approved?
6 to 8 months. It probably not that bad because the site's pretty much ready to start building on. It's ready for footings. There's not really any grade work necessary at this time to start construction of the building. Everything after that would be relatively quick. I mean, it's primarily just the front portion of the building would be built out offices, and the back portion would be an open shop
Yes, sir.
with nothing, just an open shop. It probably won't even get used, except for maybe my classic car.
Oh, there you go. I remember you telling us about it before.
Any other questions? Any comments? Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Have a second? Thank you, Mr. Carver.
Thank y'all.
Roll call, please.
Vice Checker,
Yes.
Woodard,
Yes.
Simmons,
Yes.
Sherrod,
Yes.
Poole.
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Very good. Item 2.3, at 2006 Memorial Boulevard, urgent care location, discuss and possibly take action to allow a temporary portable office building during their renovation. Ms. Kimberly, would you read that into the minutes, please?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Steve Nix with the Urgent Care Team is requesting a temporary portable office to be set up on site, conduct business while their unit is under renovation. The property address is 2006 Memorial Boulevard. This is the Center Stage location, Center Stage Shopping Center. It's zoned CS, Commercial Services. Again, this is similar to the other one. It's a zoning ordinance 11-801 in the regulations, allowing for a temporary building to be set up for a 6-month period and must be removed at the end of the construction or the time of the expiration of the permit. Staff has some comments on this. We reviewed it. This is a location in the Kroger Center. The location was it was a relocation. So this was urgent care that was located in the Kroger Center where the tornado came through. and demolish that building. So they have asked for a temporary trailer set up so they can do the renovations on this one. So talking to them, they have a sewer that is going to be connected to the building sewer line, and a temporary generator will be used until the state electric approves their permit. Now, staff and departments have no concern at this time. I do have a representative for urgent care here for any discussion.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to get this on the floor for discussion?
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Who is here to represent? Well, you can flip a coin if you like.
Matt Smith with Baldwin and Shell Construction out of Little Rock.
Yeah. And this is because of the work that has to be done because of the storm, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Urgent Care is a client of ours. We've built 60 locations for them, 60 to 65 locations from Oklahoma to Georgia. And so we travel with them across the region. And I actually had gentlemen 2 days after the tornado here in Springfield moving stuff out of their unit for them. And so we've got a temporary office set up so they can move forward with their business while we are building out the interior of the new building that Mylan Properties has put together.
So if you're from Oklahoma and Georgia, you're used to storms then, aren't you?
Yes, sir. The tornado, March 31st last year, went through Little Rock, was tremendous.
Yeah.
I have not seen anything like that in my entire life, so.
So this temporary office will be where they can actually start seeing patients there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's
There are a
good.
lot of patients that have not been seen, had to move somewhere else, get somebody else because of that.
Yes, ma'am, and that's that's revenue that our client likes to bring back in, so that's what we'd like to do, is get them set up and move forward. We're taking all public safety precautions because it is a active construction zone. We're isolating our construction zone from the office area. We'll put up some temporary orange fencing. We'll put up some plank fencing to just kind of hide some of the electrical and water connections. And the area between, on the side of the building, we're actually just blocking it completely off. That'll allow for our construction dumpster and toilet, and then just keep public safety in that area.
So we plan on remodeling in the building in front. Are you rebuilding the old building?
No, sir, we're doing an interior finish out.
Yes, sir. Next to the, what do you call it, physical therapy.
Physical therapy is open for operation business beside it. And then there's 3 spaces that are available, and we are taking up Suite 101, 102, and I've heard today that there's another tenant coming in 103.
Oh, my God.
I don't know who that tenant is, but that's, our client, Urgent Care, has leased property from Mylan Properties in
Yes, sir.
Clarksville and other areas.
My only question is, again, how long do you think the build-out would take? Any idea?
I think we can be done in about 2 days. No, just kidding.
You got, you have room for more
Typically-
projects?
I'm sorry.
You have room for more projects?
Typically, these particular size build-outs, under 2,000 square foot would run us 14 to 15 weeks. Our client is requesting that we expedite,
Well, sure.
so we are pushing for a 10-week schedule,
Don't all of your clients request that you expedite?
just this one.
Okay. And the other question is parking. I mean, that's really my only.
So we have to allow for the public and business operation of the physical therapy
Yeah.
and the urgent care. And so I'm instructing my superintendent to have all our subcontractors park in the parking lot away from the building.
Yes, sir. Like near Goodwill and,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir. So we're also have a safety concern about hours of operation for urgent care are 8 to 8. So when we block off the side of the building, we're actually gonna create a couple of more parking spots that will basically be unmarked for their employees that work that late hour to be able to walk out of the office and straight to their vehicles. So those are some of the things we've taken into consideration. And if you have any other suggestions, we are open.
Well, you've already got the main beam back up and everything, haven't you?
No, he's two different buildings going on. That's the one that got blown away. He's at the other one by Hardee's.
Okay, okay, there we go. Any other questions, comments?
On the physical therapy people, they're okay?
We're going to do the all-state policy, which is be a good neighbor.
Yeah.
That's-
Good luck.
That's what I say. We will make adjustments as needed to accommodate our neighbors.
I don't have any problems with it.
Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
A second.
Okay, motion and a second. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, I appreciate it, Mr. Chairman.
Roll call vote, please.
Simmons,
Yes.
Poole,
Yes.
Weizsäcker,
Yes.
Sherrod,
Yes.
Woodard.
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
All right, moving on, item 2.4. Variance request for 401 7th Avenue West. Discuss and possibly take action on a variance to reduce building setbacks on South Garner Street. Would you please read that request, Kimberly?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. This is Dustin Snell is requesting 3 building setback variances on South Gardner Street to add 2-story living area and garage to the existing building. I'll give you a little bit of the outline of the property. The property address is 401 7th Avenue. It's map parcel 080J, Group A, parcel 044.00. The location is in the corner of South Gardner Street and 7th Avenue West. The zoning is RS10, the medium-density residential district. Requirements for a minimum lot size for an R10 is 10,000 square feet. The existing lot is 9,428 square feet. The required minimum building setback, front and rear, is 30 foot, and the sides are 10. Proposed building setback front is 30 feet, from 30 feet to 25.22 feet, the rear from 30 feet to 15.68 feet, and the side from 10 feet to 3.2 feet. Proposed house is going to be 24.5 feet by 56 feet, total of 2,846 square feet. It's a 2-story garage and living area. Now, we read into, there are 9 subject standards for a variance that staff has to read into the Springfield zoning ordinance. Section 11-1305, zoning variance C, standards for variance.
The particular physical surrounding, shape, and topographic conditions of the specific property involved that would result in a particular hardship upon the owner as distinguished from a mere inconvenience if the strict application of this ordinance were carried out must be stated.
This property is located on the corner of South Gardner Street and 7th Avenue West. There are 2 front yard setbacks which result in a particular hardship. However, the existing structure is already encroaching on the front side setbacks and grandfathered in as is located. This criterion was not met.
The conditions upon which the petition for a variance is based would not be applicable generally to other property within the same district.
The conditions and situation would apply to other properties in the same district if the other properties had the same situation. This criteria was met.
The variance will not authorize activities in a zone district other than those permitted by this title.
The property is located in a residential district in an allowable principal permitted use. This criteria was met.
Financial returns only shall not be considered as a basis for granting a variance.
Financial returns are not considered. The owner plans to live on the property. This criteria was met.
The alleged difficulty or hardship has not been created by any person having an interest in the property after the effective date of this title.
The alleged difficulty or hardship is being created by the current owner. The property has a buildable area without reducing the setbacks. This criterion was not met.
That granting the variance requested will not confer on the applicant any special privilege that is denied by this title to other land, structures, or buildings in the same district.
The variance itself is a special privilege, and any person or property owner could request a variance from this board. This criterion was met.
The variance is a minimum variance that will make possible the reasonable use of the land, building, or structure.
The requested variance are not a minimum request to make possible reasonable use of the land, building, or structure. This criterion was not met.
The granting of the variance will not be detrimental to the public welfare or injurious to other property or improvements in the area in which the property is located.
The side variance is less than the minimum distance to a property line for two-story structures and could become a safety hazard. This criterion was not met.
The proposed variance will not impair an adequate supply of light and air to adjacent properties, substantially increase the congestion in the public streets, increase the danger of fire, and endanger public safety, or substantially diminish or impair property values within the area.
The 3.2-foot distance from the property line increases the danger of fire spreading and limits the firefighters' access. This criterion was not met. There were 4 out of 9 criteria met. Staff would like to see this area developed. The staff and the city department administration have reviewed this request and have objections to reducing the distance between the neighboring properties on South Gardner Street. The city would love to see new development and redevelopment of this area. He does have a very nice design. I've put on here an aerial of the property, which this used to be a office. So it has since been converted into a residential home. And then I'm just going to give you an idea of what they're proposing. The plat that I received was not correct. On their setbacks, they put 2 side setbacks, and it should be a side and a rear. So just to kind of give you an idea of how, number 1 is how it reads. The gray area is the area that's non-buildable. There's a 30-foot setback, so we let them choose which side that they wanted to make a rear and which side they want to be a side. The reason why you see it that way is because their survey put 2 sides. Number 2 is actually what they are proposing to ask for, and you'll see that they're asking for the front on South Gardner. They're going to line it up with the existing house, which we have no problem with. We think that would make sense for that. On the side, adjoining neighbors being 3.2 feet distance is too close, and it is an endangerment for public and health safety. Now, number 3, these are the options. So 3 and 4, depending on which one they want to make the side and the rear. The green area is where they actually can build on. So I don't know the dimension of that because the survey that came back didn't give me all the information. But I'm just giving you an idea. That's where the green lines are. Now I have the fire department here to discuss the public safety portion of this. And then I also have Dustin Snell here, who's representing the property owner, sorry.
Good, thank you. So we have a representative from the fire department. We have Mr. Snell here. Who would like to go first? Yeah, let's get a motion to get this on. Yeah, motion to get this on the floor.
You have a second? Sorry.
I made the first.
I second.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Whichever.
Fire
Fire
department,
department.
gentlemen?
Brett or Jeff.
Okay. State your name, please.
Jeff Gladusky, Fire Chief, Springfield Fire. Obviously, we oppose this just due to the distance requirement to the side setback, which is 3.2 feet now. And obviously, everybody knows 2-story structure. If we had to ladder this building, we don't have room. There's a fence that goes along that property line. And that's just, we won't be able to do anything on that side of the house. Obviously, the 2-story structure being minimum 20 feet in height, it's going to require us about 5 to 6 feet just to have the ladder placement. We require a 75% climbing angle, so. And obviously, we won't be able to do that with a fence in our way.
Gotcha.
And also, you're starting to impinge on the next property, whatever they do with that vacant lot. at some point.
You mean the one further over on Garner?
Yeah, on Garner Street, correct.
I think they built on.
They haven't built on it, it's a separate lot.
Is this building the old Dr. Stone office?
Yeah.
The last it was, yeah, the daycare, I believe. before
Okay.
the-
Yeah, we,
Yeah, just up further. Oh, there's a separate lot there, though, I thought. Yeah. Yeah.
Your concern is the safety of it?
Yes, yes, ma'am. So the safety, as far as, one, for our firemen, two, is if there is a fire in the structure, us getting to those people on the second story via ladders is not gonna take place. That's gonna be a hard rescue, as well as our guys operating for fire operations, to get on roof to do ventilation, or even fighting a fire, stuff like that. Just to putting ladders on that side of the house will be absolutely, we will have no ability to get around that side.
Any other questions for the fire chief?
not you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Snail? You would state your name, please.
Dustin Snell.
Thanks for being here.
I appreciate coming. New to this, of course.
Oh, that's a neat building you got. It's funny, I remember when it went up for sale, that's,
Dr. Stone's office, yes. The
Yeah.
history with the building and the, I guess, significance to Springfield's history. Trying to take a commercial property and turn it into a residential has been challenging but fun. We've fit a two-bedroom house into that space and found a few things in the walls, and we have 18-inch thick walls with a block structure with brick, and then it's been insulated inside. Our walls are your 8-inch block, a 4-inch brick, plus 2x4 stud walls. So the tornado shouldn't hurt us.
do you know when it was built?
I want to say 60, 54, 55. I think Dr. Stone was in there, Dr. Linney was in there at one time. And it's been daycares, it's been various things. I don't know when the commercial zoning ran out on the property, but I think it was automatically switched to residential. And it sat vacant for, I know somebody bought it, but it was never turned into anything, so it's been vacant for quite a few years, and we have been working our way through this project for, since July of '22, I believe we bought it.
Thanks. Thanks for working hard on it.
Yeah. The garage is our final, we call it a garage. You see the larger garage door on the far right-hand side, so the entire far side would be open space. It does have a high clearance because we have an RV that we like to park inside, so the reason for the larger garage space is the access to put an RV inside. It's got a 12-foot ceiling. So that would be why we want a large door. And then on the opposite side of the new construction space, you see the 3 windows and the 3 garage doors. That would be the living space, and it's more or less a 3-season. It would be patio space and bonus room, basically.
You got a deck on top?
And then, yeah, we did kind of splurge, put a door up there to go onto the rooftop, since it does have a flat roof. It does give us second-story access to the rooftop to do rooftop activities, I guess, whatever that may be.
Well, how much have you jockeyed around with the design? I mean, I know the staff,
It's been, it's a small property.
Yeah.
We did know that going into it. We looked at all the options. We have taken into consideration some of the other options, but number 4 being the one that they've been asking us. That side of the house has 3 windows, of course, being existing structure. there's bedrooms, there's a kitchen over there on that side of the house, so even if you did, stand by the 5-foot minimum between an accessory structure, you're left with a very small footprint available to build a building there. And at that point, you've put a second building right next to your primary building with windows, so you've basically killed it basically becomes an alley between two structures, and, to connect it, you would end up with 2 or 3 rooms inside the house that would be, interior rooms with no windows, no ways of, get out. So using this existing structure, I think it would be very difficult to add anything to that side of the property. And then, picture number 3, if you look at the rear part, from the back of the house to the property line is less than 25 feet. So by the time you take off the 10-foot, we'll call that the side right now, you're left with maybe 20 feet, which you could put a single car, small garage back there, but I don't have much benefit for a single car garage. A garage door needs to be minimum probably 18 feet, I think, to be a 2-story, or 16 feet to be a 2-car garage. And so a 2-car wouldn't fit on the rear, or on the side, I guess. So that's when we came up with the structure we have now. There's no way to, I shouldn't say there's no way. I do have some ideas to try to decrease that in size by a little bit. I could probably get it closer to 5 feet from the side.
I've got a comment. What would it take to get the fire department used? What's the magic number as far as setback?
Obviously, it's buildable at 5 feet with outside construction building. What still concerns us is still the whole access to that side of the
Okay.
building. 5 feet makes it buildable with restriction, and another 5 feet. I mean, y'all can pass this today, and they have to meet certain requirements with it, the next building be within a certain distance. And they have requirements for it. I just don't like going that route, because anybody can put a fence on the property line, which impedes us access to that house. So in order to set a ladder up, we're gonna have to go in the neighbor's yard, ladder over a fence. And obviously you gotta have access to, because a lot of people lock the fences, their gates, and stuff like that. So it's just slows the process down.
But my concern is, it just seems like it's a little too close. That's the concern I have. The side variance.
I can move the side over. I mean, there is a little allowance. It would overlap the house slightly, but I think it would be very doable to move it a foot and get to that 4.2 feet. That would be really, really simple without any trouble, and I don't think it would cause any trouble at all. The neighbors have been agreeable to it. They look at it, of course, it increases their property value as well. There's been some discussion about that fence, that if the garage was built, the fence would come down because of that. They have the fence there. They have animals, of course. So it was kind of more the fence was to contain the animals on the neighbor's property. So if there was a garage space there, they wouldn't need the fence anymore. But of course, that would be a discussion for neighbors.
I'll tell you, Mr. Snell, like, as it is, especially, if there's a logistics problem with the city, I'd have a hard time voting for the plan.
I understand.
I live in that district.
Yeah.
Back before there were any kind of order to anything. It's all chaos.
Yeah.
The eaves of my house sit on my neighbor's lands. So I'm actually gonna buy a strip of land from him.
Just to,
honestly, just for the clearance, I'm not even gonna put
Sure.
anything there for drainage.
Sure.
I know
The
it's
back-
a ridiculous proposition, but you might wanna consider, if that's the plan, you gotta, you've looked at an entrance of the garage from the front and having the unlivable space on the side of the house set back from those current windows? Like entering from Seventh Street?
If you enter from Seventh Street, you would be on the side of the house where the bedrooms are.
Yeah.
So you couldn't, I don't believe you could build because
Put
you
your
would,
RV through the window.
you could. But there are some challenges, I think, to building on that side of the property.
Sure.
It's an interesting dilemma. I do plan on building, it's gonna be an all brick structure. I was going to have fire resistant, paper or whatever else put on
Sure.
on the wall that borders the neighboring property. That way it would have a fire, whatnot. And then, of course, being that it's all open space in there, there's not going to be, the two smaller rooms that will be the livable space. Those will have a, heat and air in them, but the entire garage is not going to be,
Sure.
other than lights, I guess. It's not going to be, it's just going to be a garage space, so it's not technically speaking, livable, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it is a sloped roof. You would have access to the roof from where the garage is facing, and also from if you're on Seventh Street, you would have access to the roof on that side of the property, with no restrictions.
Gotcha.
And also just, as it's seen in the picture, the property does angle towards from the back corner going towards Garner Street. It does angle downwards, so the back of the garage is 5 feet, from the property from the property line. The front corner is 3.2 feet. The entire garage is not 5 feet. There's a line somewhere along that longer side of the garage where it does become 5 feet from the property line. And if you were to look at the property, the fence was put parallel with the house and with the neighboring property, so the fence that is there currently is 5 feet from where the garage is going to be built. I pulled all my dimensions off the fence line that's there, and the garage will be sitting 5 feet from the fence. So even though, I mean, it'd be one of those things like you're saying, there's a small wedge of 98 feet that I could purchase from the neighbors, and then I'd have a 5-foot setback off of the fence that's there.
Yeah.
Is there a vacant lot to the rear of this property?
I think they're both,
Both corners have houses on them.
yeah, there's a blue house that.
Yeah.
Clay Jones just
was
built.
developed, nice looking house.
New house.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I know the other side's full, I can't remember what's there. Wow. You know, we've approved clearance variances that close with driveway corners and stuff, but as it is, close to the fire line, I couldn't, I would say, I'd want to see a different design than that. I mean, I certainly understand wanting the property.
Sure.
I would too.
Yeah.
You know, again, I'm over there, I want a much better garage than I can.
Yes, no, I understand. Yeah, with the non-conforming lot, of course, if we had the extra 500 feet, we wouldn't even be asking for, well,
Yeah,
we wouldn't be asking for a variance because we had the extra 5 feet on that property side anyway, so we wouldn't even need the variance.
yeah.
So, yeah, but if 5 feet is the fire department's minimum, would we be good then?
Well, are we talking,
Would it be possible for y'all to kind of, if we just table this for the moment and try to work with something that would be more acceptable to the fire
Under the,
situation?
Mr. Snell, be acceptable for both of them. Because I like the way I like the way it looks, but if it,
Yeah.
I have a problem with the fire safety.
I have a problem with the fire safety.
I understand.
That way, you could resubmit something that everybody feels a little bit better about, that we could hopefully approve.
Sure.
that work for everyone?
So basically you're saying they get together and work
Work it
something
out,
out?
yeah.
Okay.
We
Well,
need
the
a
fire department's
motion.
got the free time.
Kimberly,
Kimberly?
would we need a motion to table this? Okay. Do we have a motion to table this until next meeting?
I make a motion.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Woodard,
Yes.
Weizsäcker,
Yes.
Sherrod,
Yes.
Poole,
Yes.
Simmons,
Yes?
5-0 to table till next meeting.
But,
Well, can I make an addendum to that? Is that,
yes.
well, I'd like some specifics of what we're tabling it for. Like just something to delineate. I'd say if we could see possibly a revised plan or revised overall square footage of, I mean, if you could talk to your neighbor, that's the dream. If there's actually a strip of land that you could buy. And honestly, I know the pain of, you've got to get it surveyed, and then resurveyed, and all that. And I know it's inconvenient to build on the other side, I really do get it, but that's probably the easiest way to get a garage that big. And so, alternate plan that you might be comfortable with, but, I mean, anything 5 feet or under, I can't see approving a 2-story building that close. So I'd say revised plan that, the fire department's okay with. Various options from the owner that are different than that.
So we need to make a new motion?
Add to that motion. You
Yeah,
can
just amend it, or
amend it.
we'd like to see this worked out, because it would be a nice thing to have there. Moving on, item 2.5, 601 Doris Street, discuss and possibly take action on a variance to reduce building setbacks on Pitt Avenue. Did you read this into the minutes?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Pedro Reyes is requesting one building setback variance on Pitt Avenue to construct a single-family home. The property is located at 601 Doris Street, map 080L, Group A, parcel 022.00. Location is the corner of Doris Street and Pitt Avenue. Zone is R7, high-density residential district. Required minimum lot size is 7,000 square feet. The existing lot is 6,864 square feet. Required minimum building setbacks, 25-foot front, 15-foot rear, and 8-foot on side. Proposed building setbacks, front yard is 25 feet to 13.5 feet. The proposed house is a 30 by 35. It's a 1,050 square foot single-family home. Staff reads into records the 9 subject standards for variance. The staff reviews in the Springfield zoning ordinance 11-1305 zoning variance C standards for variance.
1, the particular physical surrounding, shape, and topographic conditions of the specific property involved that would result in a particular hardship upon the owner as distinguished from a mere inconvenience if the strict application of this ordinance were carried out must be stated.
This property is located on the corner of Dorr Street and Pitts Avenue. There are 2 front yard setbacks which result in a particular hardship. This criterion was met.
2, the conditions upon which the petition for a variance is based would not be applicable generally to other property within the same district.
The condition and situation would apply to other properties in the same district. If the other properties had the same situation, this criterion was met.
3, the variance will not authorize activities in a zone district other than those permitted by this title.
The property is located in a residential district and an allowable principal permitted use. This criterion was met.
4, the financial returns only should not be considered as a basis for granting a variance.
Financial returns are considered. The property owner plans to build and sell the property. This criterion was not met.
5, the alleged difficulty or hardship has not been created by any person having an interest in the property after the effective date of this title.
The alleged difficulty and hardship was not created by the current owner. This was a lot of record with 2 front yard setbacks. This criterion was met.
6, the granting the variance requested will not confer on the applicant any special privilege that is denied by this title to other land structures or buildings in the same districts.
The variance itself is a special privilege, and any person or property owner could request a variance from this board. This criterion was met.
7, the variance is the minimum variance that will make possible the reasonable use of the land, building, or structure.
The variance is a minimum request to make possible a reasonable use of the land, building, or structure. The corner lot having 2 front yards reduce the buildable area to 19 feet. The variance will allow the building owner to build at the same width and design as the other houses on Store Street. This criteria was met.
Number 8, the granting of the variance will not be detrimental to the public welfare or injurious to other property or improvements in the area in which the property is located.
The variance will not be detrimental to the public welfare interest to other properties or improvements in the area. This criteria was met.
9, the proposed variance will not impair an adequate supply of light and air to the adjacent property, substantially increase the congestion in public streets, increase the danger of fire, endanger public safety, or substantially diminish or impair property values within the area.
The requested variance is outside the 10-foot right-of-way distance. It would not affect the public utilities, roadway, or endanger public safety. This criteria is met. There are 8 out of 9 criteria met. Staff and Department Administration reviewed the request and have no objection. No public inquiries or concerns have been made to staff.
Very good, thank you.
I have Pedro Reyes here. In case you have questions.
All righty, do we have a motion to get this on the floor?
I motion.
A motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Mr. Reyes. State your name, please.
Pedro Reyes.
Very good. Anyone have any questions or comments?
I don't think so. That projected view is from Doris Street, right?
Correct,
Yeah.
yes.
The green plot behind, is that, you're not building, it's just the yellow area that's the house,
Cor-
right?
That's correct, yes, yellow area.
What's the green zone behind it?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. You didn't want to build like a real narrow
No,
zone?
no, well, this house, he's gonna build that building in 2 days, I'm gonna build mine one day.
There you go.
My house in
That
one day.
sounds about right. You guys get raised.
Yeah,
You already got the building, you just got to put it.
oh yeah, ready to go.
They'll have a nice backyard.
Yeah,
Was that just a vacant lot?
yes. Well, we put that together, with 5 lots,
Okay.
on Doris Street, yeah. So,
There's 2.
but it used to be a
Doris
house
Streets.
before, yeah.
There's 2 Doris Streets. Which one is this?
It-
Okay.
Yeah,
Is this the one off of John L. Patterson?
no,
Not
This one
Doris.
east of
No,
mine.
it's the
It's
one
the
on-
other Doris.
correct, yeah,
Off Fifth.
Off of Fifth Avenue.
yeah.
Again, about half the lot's going to be yard behind it, right?
Mhm. Yeah, it's nice, yeah, pretty size.
Make a motion to approve.
I second it.
Mr. Reyes, thank you. We have a motion, we have a second. Please call the roll.
Sherrod,
Yes.
Woodard,
Yes.
Poole,
Yes.
Simmons,
Yes.
Weizsäcker,
Yes.
passes 5-0.
Very good. Other or old business, case study on aggregated pavers for 2707 Memorial Boulevard.
Nope, I moved my thing. Yes, this right here, we presented this to the Planning Commission on March the 7th of an alternative use for concrete and asphalt on parking lots. So we're doing a test case at 2707 Memorial Boulevard. The location is across from Kroger. You might see it as a black patch.
Yeah, the vacant lot.
Yes, sir. It's a vacant lot, and we're gonna test this product out. And the product is over here on the left-hand side. And this will be a year case study. So in March of 2025, we will revisit with them. Actually, we'll check in with them periodically to see how the material is holding up, how parking is working, et cetera. And if it works out well, then we will open it up and put it in our subdivision regulation.
Will it go all the way up to the old, where Home Majority got blown away by the tornado? How big a lot would it be?
No, it's just that little
Okay.
lot over here. Yeah. But that's all I have on that one. I just wanted to share that information with you.
Thank you.
The next thing we have is the
Oh, no.
comprehensive plan review. We have that on April the 16th. It's going to be a joint review study with the Board of Mayor Alderman and the Planning Commission, and you guys, we're looking for your input. Again, this is for the comprehensive review. It's not required, but we would like to have your input. So mark your calendars on April the 16th. Now, I do have, and I put on here tentative, but I was able to confirm, everything was last minute. I was able to confirm some times for training. We have great speaker. His name is Samuel Edwards. He is an attorney for Lebanon, their planning department, and he does training sessions all over the place, and he's phenomenal. I've gone to several of his events, and he is going to present for us possibly on April the 25th at 5:30. And I've got another date on June the 11th. I'm just announcing this to Candace. But I've just confirmed those two dates, and I will make sure we get that out. It's 2 hours of training. You need 4 hours a year, so you'll have that wrapped up by the end of June.
Nice.
So that's all I have.
Thank you.
Oh, well, you will now have a BZA meeting for April, by the way. I didn't have one before, but you did.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I say.
Thank you for everyone for your attendance. We stand adjourned.